Ladies and gentlemen, it was quite dramatic listening to Botham Jean's 911 call with Amber Geiger just putting a spectacle on, you know, just to create an alibi for herself. And I'm so glad that Botham's mother did not fall for her tears and her whining, which she did nothing but think about herself through that entire time Botham was on the floor dying. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my apartment. Why not focus on the person that you shot? You caused the entire thing. You could at least take some time and help this person. But no, she was only concerned for herself. And I'm so glad Botham's mother breaks her silence on Amber Geiger's 911 call, and she is saying the same thing I was saying, that she believes that this was leaked because they were hoping it would drum up sympathy for Amber Geiger. It didn't do a damn thing for me. Okay. No, I will never feel sorry for Amber Geiger. So we all know Amber Geiger gunned down Botham Shem Jean in his own home on September 6, 2018. Her trial has been set. Now, according to the last thing I read, her trial is set for September 23rd, not unless they change it again. And I know they're going to try to go for a change in venue. You can expect it to happen. And they'll try to use the 911 tape being leaked as an excuse. Oh, well, that's leak. People are biased now. The public has an opinion. We need to change the venue. No, you need to keep the venue exactly where Botham John was killed, and that was in Dallas. So we all know, and I did a hangout on this, and I gotta get back to doing hangouts. I know I haven't done one in a while. The 911 call was released in April, and now Botham's mother is finally getting around to speaking out on this, and I'm glad. According to an interview with Site Magazine, Botham's mom, Jean, said she believed the 911 call was leaked to gain sympathy for Geiger, and I agree. Jean also said listening to it, it sparked some anger within me because I'm not hearing the dispatcher pay much attention to him. And she's right. Neither the dispatcher or Amber Geiger gave Botham John the time of day. They didn't even suggest first aid on him at all. And that was astonishing to me. And that 911 operator, as far as I'm concerned, she should be fired. She did not do her job at all. I didn't hear the dispatcher ask about his condition, whether he was breathing, whether he was responsive. And I'm wondering whether it was because it was a police involved shooting that the victim didn't matter. Exactly. The 911 dispatcher only seemed to be concerned about Amber Geiger, and she only sounded worried about losing her job and her apartment, and I didn't mean to do it, or whatever. On the call, Geiger can be heard breathing heavily and cursing in between telling the operator what she had done. Sorry about that, y'all. Always interruptions. So, yes, Amber Geiger was only concerned about her job and her apartment. And I thought this was my apartment. I was like, okay, you starting to sound rehearsed. So she said, effed. She said at one point during the call before later adding, I'm going to lose my job. After asking the operator to send a supervisor, Geiger kept repeating, I thought I was in my apartment. Okay, instead of sitting around doing that, why don't you help the victim? Geiger says later in the call that I'm so tired. No defense, but Geiger did not sound tired to me. Listen to the full 911. I just can't bear to listen to it because you can hear Botham moaning in the call, and it is just heartbreaking to even hear that. The 911 call came 1 week after it was reported that people who Amber Geiger arrested, remember, they let all of those cases go. All of the people that Amber Geiger arrested when she was still working as a Dallas police officer, their cases were dismissed. So that was very unusual. We haven't seen that happen a lot. So it must be something about those arrests where she screwed up or she just didn't come off credible. So they had to let all of those people go. Citing court documents, the Dallas News reported that Dallas County prosecutors in one case wrote that they were seeking the dismissal because the fired officer was indicted for murdering an innocent man in his own home. WFAA said that it obtained the records after months of reporting, but it could have been leaked by Geiger's defense attorneys. And I really believe somebody connected to Amber Geiger leaked that tape. They thought it sounded credible enough where people in the public would feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for anybody but the victim in this whole thing. And it sure ain't Amber Geiger or even her former colleagues at the Dallas Police Department, looking to curry favor with potential jurors in her murder trial. Has not been officially released by any law enforcement agency. Well, somebody had to release it. It sure didn't release itself. On September 6th, we know Amber Geiger claimed she mistook Botham's apartment for hers, which I'm not buying. She lived on the third floor, and Bunny said there's all kinds of indicators letting you know what floor you're on in that building. Number two, Botham had that red carpet outside of his apartment. If most of you probably remember that. Now, she has lied multiple times in her story. First, she said the door was ajar, and the residents there showed how you cannot prop those doors open at all. So whenever you open those doors, they automatically shut. So Geiger's a liar. Well, one thing I know for certain, ladies and gentlemen, there has been so many inconsistencies in Amber Geiger's story that you virtually cannot believe her at all. You know, she filed complaints against Botham. They were noise complaints. But then the night that she shot him, she pretended like, I don't know who this dude is. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. What the fuck is up with all that bud stuff? If you filed complaints on him, you knew what his name was. You knew who he was. You don't complain about people and you don't know who the hell they are and you live in the same building. She was aware of who he was and knew his name. Now, she changed her story. We know multiple times. She scrubbed her social media accounts and she got to turn herself in 3 days after shooting Botham John. You know, under any other circumstances, they would have arrested you on the spot and that would have been the end of it. But they let her have enough time to move out of her apartment, and nobody even still to this day know where she is, or they know where she is and they're staying silent because they're protecting her, and she doesn't deserve it at all. So I hope Botham's family get justice, but in America, I'm not always hopeful about these things because they already rigged up the system so that we never get justice in America at all. And they rigged it up from chattel slavery all the way up until now. And it's very obvious that this is what has been done in America. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.